All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world only called Jesus Christ. All right, we are here. Another back at y'all with another Friday night class. Give me 1 second. Make sure I get this out. So yeah, everybody's a buzz about this serious situation, which of course is all a part of prophecy. So you know, I mean, it's only what you're seeing happen in the world is only what you've heard the prophets on the street corner say. As long as I've been teaching, with 6 years I've been on the streets teaching. Now, this is what I've been talking. We've been talking about this exact thing. We've been talking about these exact countries. You see what I'm saying? So all that's happening through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is the fulfillment of prophecy. Right. That's what's going on. All right. So we'll get into that most high willing. But first off, I want to deal with the World Mission Society Church of God. Who knows who the World Mission Society Church of God is in the room? Santee. Boom. Korean Jesus. They believe that God is a Korean man and a Korean woman. They believe in that the man is the Father and the Son, and the Holy Spirit is the woman. While in the I walked into the Escondido Mall. What's it called? It's called the North County Fair. This past Sunday, I was in there. I was with my daughter. My wife was at damn Mac. So I'm walking in the damn hall on the third floor, and a brother stopped me. He's so-called black man stopped me, and he said, "What do you know about the seal of God?" So I took a look at what they had on the table, and I seen World Mission Society Church of God. So I said, I know the seal of God can't be given to me by a Korean woman, right? So this kind of sparks an argument. We going back and forth on various things, and I just keep reiterating to this man, I want to understand why you're a black man and you're telling me God is Korean and Jesus is Korean and the Holy Spirit is Korean. I want to understand how you, a black man, can sit there with a straight face and tell me that. Give me Jeremiah 2:11. That's the huge thing with me, and I explain and I reference the scripture to him, which of course he couldn't explain. And this man, with all pride, every time I asked him, "You're telling me Jesus is Korean and God is Korean?" looked at me with the straightest and most honest face he could and said, "Yeah." See, when we bring this up to other people that we've encountered of this cult, they'll say, "You're looking at the flesh, bro. He just came as a Korean one time. He came as a Jew. It's spiritual." This nigga's like, nah, he's Korean. And that's it. Who they call Christ unsung home, right? And I told him, I said, well, matter of fact, let's just read this first. I'll go further into the testimony. Go ahead.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11. Hath the nation changed their gods?
Has a nation changed their gods? Every people on the planet Earth worships a God that resembles them. When did that change? Come on. 1492. Up into 1492, everybody worshiped a God that looked like them. The white man started to make everybody worship a white God. So when our people come with a white Jesus, it makes sense. It's wrong, but it makes sense because the white man has conquered us and subjugated us to the ideology that who the world calls Christ and God and everybody who's ever been holy or righteous in the Bible was a white person. A Korean never did that to you. So for a brother, the so-called black man, to come and say, us is a Korean who has never came and subjugated you, you have voluntarily subjugated yourself to the Koreans' ideology, that is very disturbing to me. That's highly disturbing. And the Bible speaks against such ideologies. The Korean can worship Unsung Home if they want to. He's their people. They're not foolish for that, right? They will, in the kingdom of heaven, have to worship our God, though. As of right now, they can worship Unsung Home, a pig. I don't know what they worship, whatever you want, because you're not an Israelite. But an Israelite, you have no business worshiping any God outside of your own. So read it again.
Jeremiah 2:11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods.
The Most High said, a nation, every nation on the earth, they worship Buddha. They worship Shiva. They worship Kali in East India. You see, they worship Taoism in Asia. They're worshiping the gods. They're worshiping their own people, the gods of their own people. And guess what? All those named are not gods. They're idols. They're men that have died. We are the Israelites. We have the only living God, period. Right. Yahweh is our God. But we will leave the only living God to serve an idol when those that follow idols are more loyal to their idols than we are to the actual only living God. And it's disgusting. Read on.
It says, but my people have changed their glory.
My people have changed their glory. Read on.
For that which doeth not profit.
That damn Korean sitting in a box in Korea somewhere, that profits a black or Hispanic man none. But when they're blacks and Hispanics trying to sell me this religion, they had a kiosk set up in the mall like some type of salesman. No, they were Asians. They were like 2 or 3 Asians and 2 or 3 Jakes. You had a so-called black man and at least 2 or 1 to 2 Northern Kingdom. I remember distinctly at least 1 Mexican and 1 black man for sure, and at least 2 Asians. But there were other people there as well. Can't really remember who the hell they were because I didn't really deal with them directly. But we're gonna get to the Asian part in a second. But as we see that, I mean, they're in here like they are commission-based salespeople. They're dressed business casual. You see what I'm saying? Face about clean as a baby's rear, and they come to you trying to sell you about the seal of God. You see what I'm saying? So the conversation begins to progress. Give me Romans 2. He's so stupid. He said this. I call his bluff. He says it's not just about Israel only. I said, oh, it's not? I said, can you show me that in the Bible? So we're going to go to Romans 2. Go about to the end. I'm going to show you how retarded this religion is and how bad this idiot cut himself. Let's go. Let's start at, where did he start at? Start at 25.
Romans chapter 2, verse 25. For circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
So he's going here to say that this means it doesn't matter if you're Israelite. Keep read all the way to the
end. Verse 26. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not the uncircumcision be counted for circumcision?
What is the uncircumcision? Who knows?
It can be 2 things.
What?
Like literally cutting the foreskin or getting circumcised by fire.
No. Bazak Baria.
Like you said, 2 things: a Gentile or an Israelite that's living as
the uncircumcision were the Israelites that didn't live in Israel under Israelite customs. They were referred to as the uncircumcision. In no place is this saying non-Israelites. It's not written here. There were Israelites that not only were uncircumcised, there were Israelites that got uncircumcised literally in the flesh. What's that process called, Sergeant? It's all right. If you ain't got it, it's all right. But go ahead.
It says, therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision?
Right.
And shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision doest transgress the law?
So all he's saying is, you're not better because you grew up in Jerusalem That doesn't make you better. Simply that virtue. These Israelites that were not brought up in Israelite customs, if they are keeping the laws, they are an Israelite the same way you are, period. But you growing up in the customs and neglecting to keep the laws, you're even worse off than them. That's what he's saying. Go ahead. Clearly, what the man tried to tell me this verse was going to prove, the point is not proven. Read on.
Verse 28, for he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. But he is a Jew, which is one inward.
So this is how they try to start to make a case and build a narrative for the thing the church calls the spiritual Israelites. Not realizing that this same concept was taught to the Israelites when they agree it pertained only to Israelites. They all will agree that there was that the Old Testament was created and for only Israelites, and then after the death and resurrection of Christ, crucifixion and resurrection of Christ, then comes everybody else. They will all admit that. So anything prior to that, they have to agree pertain exclusively to the Israelites. So watch. Yeah, I spelled that real wrong. What verse was that?
I'm about to get it. That was 28. Deuteronomy 10.
Yep.
16.
Boom. Get it.
Let me get, yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked.
So this is being told to the Israelites in the Old Testament for their heart to be circumcised. Well, if you broke the law, your heart was uncircumcised. So this is what he's saying. You have a group of Israelites that grew up in Israel that were physically circumcised, but they weren't spiritually circumcised. So he's telling the Israelites in Rome, just because you guys were born uncircumcised, your keeping of the law gives you your spiritual circumcision, which in part would lead to a physical circumcision, of course. But that is your spiritual circumcision. So these people cannot puff themselves up against you simply by virtue of where they grew up. This is what's being said here. Keep reading in Romans 2. We're going to read all the way into Romans 3 in this. This is what I did to the dude. Go ahead.
Just to back up what you're talking about, like you said, it would lead into the circumcision of the flesh. Therefore, verse 26, therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law. So if they're going to keep the righteousness of the law, then therefore they're going to,
be circumcised.
Get the physical circumcision. Going back to verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High.
So it's not just about being a physical Israelite. It's also about being a spiritual Israelite. Spiritual Israelites does not mean other nations who are Israelites. It's about physical Israelites who are true to who they are supposed to be, as opposed to ones who aren't. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's what's going. That's what's being taught here. I didn't see the other nations being grafted in, and that's why I said, oh, you want to go there? Bro, just keep reading. Read on into 3, brother. Watch. Go ahead.
Romans 3:1. What advantage then hath the Jew?
What advantage then hath the Jew? Right? Now it's going to say, okay, with that being said, because people were going to try to take and run with that statement, Paul comes to bring clarity to the statement and says, okay, with that being said, what advantage has the Jew? Read.
Oh, what profit is there of circumcision?
What profit is there in getting circumcised? Read on.
Much every way.
In every way it profits to be an Israelite. In every way it profits to be circumcised. So he said, do not get what I'm saying wrong. I'm telling you, it's still the most powerful and profitable thing in the world to be a Hebrew Israelite. Paul is making that clear. Dude didn't know what to do when he kept reading. Read.
Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
Point blank, period. The Bible belongs to us, not nobody else. So where he tried to go to graft everybody in, he got totally destroyed and daggered through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Right? So then he tries to he goes somewhere in John somewhere, which didn't prove his point at all. But so then he tried to say that Jesus was the Most High in the flesh. Cut him on that real quick with John 10. Boom. Then it starts to get very hostile. So I keep telling him, read Revelations 1. I said, let's pull up a picture of Unsung Home, which is who they believe is Christ. And let's read Revelations 1, and let's do a comparison on if this matches up to Christ's description. I'm talking about he's running from this. He does not want to read. It gets to the point where the argument will persist, and then eventually I have to read Revelation 1 out of my Bible. So this dude, it starts getting hostile, and here's what he tells me. He asked me, are you willing to learn? I said, you can't teach me anything, right? Then he said, well, okay. But I said, wait, are you willing to learn? He says, no. I said, well, wait a minute. You're knocking me because I'm not willing to learn, but you, by your own admission, are also not willing to learn. And you know what he says to me? Only person who can teach me is God. And I said, wait, so you learn directly from God, but I have to learn from you? And he said, yeah. So this man is telling me, but do you know why he learns directly from God? Because he believes that Korean woman is God. Because the man is dead, of course, in a casket somewhere. He believes that Korean woman is God. So because he learns her teachings, he really believes he's learning directly from God. And that whoever I am, I don't know who the hell I am. And I got to come to him because he's got the plug, which is God, some Korean hoe. Go ahead, Karam.
So he's saying that the Koreans that he's with that are teaching him this, they're like descendants of God. No,
he actually believes that because he is a follower of this girl, I forget her damn name, because he's her follower, he is spiritually a prophet of the tribe of Judah, of the line of David. He said, he asked me, he said, are you a prophet of David? I said, first off, show me in the Bible where it says a prophet of David. That's not there. The house of David was not known for raising up many great prophets. It had a couple, but it didn't have many. So I don't understand why he's using that terminology. I said, no, but I'm an Israelite, and I am a prophet for sure, right? And I told him, you're an Israelite too, which he already believes. He believes he's some spiritual Israelite and some damn Korean. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is this. As we proceed to argue, and I keep telling him, how are you a black man telling me Jesus is Korean? The Filipino, the Asian walks up, right? At this point, my wife is there with the baby. So the Filipino walk up, and he goes to try to say something to me. And I just look at him, I said, are you Filipino? And he said, yes. I said, well, can you excuse me? Two black men are having a conversation. Bro, he didn't know what to do. He turns to my wife to try to talk to my wife. I didn't turn back to him. He said, you won't have anything to say to my woman. Just get out of here. You better get out of here. You know what I mean? Bye. You know what I mean? You're dismissed. So it persists on. So he's like, so I'm trying to tell him where to go. Then he's like, do you have a Bible? Oh, sure do. Always. Pull Bible out of my pocket. We go to Revelations 1. We go to Revelations 1. I said, look, let's see if Unsung Home looks like this. You see what I'm saying? Let's just see. So we start reading it. Boom. We get to the color. Man, he don't know what to do when we get to the color. You see what I'm saying? He's trying to say, then he goes, could have been seeing Jesus because Jesus was dead. I said, wait, Jesus is dead? Scripture say Yahushua is alive. I said, Jesus is dead? He said, yeah. Then he backpedaled. Wait, I mean, he's alive. I said, oh, all right, then. So this is his body. You mean he's black spiritually, but Korean physically? Let's just be real here.
We're all spiritually black.
But we're all spiritually black. So then I cut him. He said, in the beginning, God made man in his image. In the beginning, I said, okay, and what's the original man? Black. So if the original man was made in the image of God, then we have to conclude, the only conclusion is that God is black.
When Yahushua is the express image of the Most High.
Of the Most High. He's saying that they're Korean.
He said the original man was Korean?
Well, he didn't say the original man is Korean, but by saying God and the woman is Korean, he has to believe that the original man is Korean, which, number one, how do Koreans come about? How do Asians come about? Mongoloidism. You see what I'm saying? So incest. But these are the people of God, people of incest. So anyway, So you know, it gets real hostile. We got to go anyway. I was really just waiting for my damn woman to come. So and now then he says, I'm gonna call the cop. He threatens to call the police on me. Well, I'm like, nigga, call the police. I'm turned up on him at this point. Nigga, call the police. I don't give a damn about you calling no damn police. I said, you call your police because your Asian master came over here and told you to do it. He came over here and cracked the whip because he didn't say it. He didn't threaten to call the police on me until after I cursed the Filipino out. When I said that to the Filipino, now he's gonna call the cops. I said, damn, you stuck up for master, didn't you? You see what I'm saying? You got this damn Korean master that you stuck up for. So in the end of it, I just kept telling him he was a coon ass nigga who was a slave to the damn Korean.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Period. But because of that, I hope the World Mission Society Church of God understands that there's an absolute and all-out war between us and them. And it's not going to be no peace. Anytime we say we're going to go looking for them in these malls. Now I know you in setting up kiosks in the mall on Sunday, officer.
I'll be looking for them.
What, over there at the mall you work at? Are they over there? You know, I'm surprised at many Asians. And here's where they at. They're in Escondido Mall. Ain't a lot of Asians in that area. That area is predominantly Hispanic. You see what I'm saying? But you got a lot of Edomites that go over there because the part of Escondido at the mall is a white part, you know, where all the people with money stay. But it's a lot of Hispanics that's over there. Of course, he stopped me. You know what I mean? I didn't really see them stopping white people. That's the reason why, though, because every religion knows if you want to get numbers and you want to get money, you target blacks and Hispanics. You target the children of the Most High because we have that zeal, but not according to knowledge, pursuant to Romans 10. So we're always willing to come and join some type of religion or anything that we think is godly for whatever reason we perceive it to be godly. You see what I'm saying? So we're always those vulnerable, shepherdless victims that every religion comes and preys upon and builds an empire upon. Right? But I have a quick question for the World Mission Society Church of God. I have a very brief question for him. Matter of fact, let's go here. What's this nigga's name? Unsung Home? How do I spell this dude's name?
It's like you.
Right here. Unsung Hong. Hong. Unsung Hong. That's Christ. They say it. Unsung Home Christ. Or Christ Unsung Home. Watch. Okay, so
the name's not even Jesus anymore.
It's Christ Unsung Home. Which mind you guys, this individual did not believe himself to be Christ. His kids don't believe it. The woman that's calling herself God the Mother, she actually, after he died, created the ideology that they together were God in Christ, in the spirit. She's alive right now. That's why he says he can only learn from God. He means he can only learn from this Korean hoe right here. Let's see her.
Zangya.
This hideous guys, this is God. This black man told me that this was God. I understand why you would tell me Caesar was God. They made you to believe that. They beat that into your mind. You willingly believe that this hoe is God. But now watch this. I got a quick question. Quick question. For the World Mission Society Church of God, I hope everybody could, at least everybody on the joint can see it. As we can see, this is who they believe is God in Christ. This damn so-called Korean man, right? This so-called Korean man. So I got a quick question. Jesus did many miracles, right? When he was on the scene. Name me some of the miracles that Christ did. You said, hold on. What did he do? So Christ healed the blind, but he needed glasses.
Right.
He needed glasses, but he could heal the blind. This is crazy. He needed glasses, but he healed the blind. Why didn't he heal himself? He also raised the dead, and but this dude is in a box. He's in Korea buried, and his kids don't want nothing to do with this whole. They said he's dishonoring their father's. She's dishonoring their father's legacy.
And also, if you look at his bio, his early life, it said he had Buddhist parents.
Yep.
Of course.
Where's that at?
Where's Mary? Well, Mary was a Buddhist. Joseph was a Buddhist. This is insanity. And blacks and Hispanics by the thousand are piling into this church. And you know what they're doing? Giving this church their money.
Right.
Which is exactly why those salespeople approach me under the auspice of they're working for a church. You are selling me something. And somebody criticized us and said, because we don't serve it on a silver platter, because we're in the streets, we're giving it to you raw, we don't got on suits and ties, so we ain't serving it to you on a silver platter. But these dudes are literally serving you dung on a silver platter. You want dung just because it come on a silver platter? I've ate out of styrofoam many a days, and I'll do it again before I eat somebody's excrement off of a silver platter. All right? Doesn't even make no kind of sense. But that be what's wrong with our people right there. They want everything on a silver platter because the white man has always given it to them like that. Like you see a lot of the Haitians that's out here in San Diego, people been seeing them walking around. You always see them dressed up on a Saturday because they're going to church and Bible study. That's why you see them so dressed up like that. They're going to church or they're going to Bible study. So they feel like godliness is connected to being dressed up and being extravagant, which all of our people do. All right. I remember we used to, I'm from Washington, right? So I used to go into the Tacoma Mall where I lived, where I grew up at. And there used to always be these two dudes up in there dressed up. So I used to think they were pimps. Every day I'll go in there when I was a little kid. I thought these were two pimps. They were two pastors. But they didn't look no different than a pimp to me. Period. You mean always wearing the same type of outfit a pimp would wear? Because that's what they are. They are pimps. They're just hoeing spiritually. They're pimping you out spiritually. You go there every Sunday, you give them all of your money. And that's what the World Mission Society Church of God is, but they just have a Korean twist. That's all that's going on. It's a Korean twist on an old game to spiritually pimp blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead, you got something?
Yeah, no, I'm just going through his bio. It says that in well, he denounced being a Buddhist in 1948. That's a
oh yeah, that's a big year, 48.
Right.
And I believe they try to connect that Israel becoming a state with that.
They did.
Yeah, they do. Huh?
They do. Okay, and then in 1956, it says that On proclaimed that within 10 years there will be a second coming of Jesus.
Give me the book of Deuteronomy 18. We just smell. Yeah, but see, that's the thing about it. He never believed himself to be Jesus. But he falsely proclaimed the second coming, though. That never happened.
Right.
Within 10 years. Jehovah's Witnesses do the same thing? Yes, they did. The Mormons.
Right.
They've all had false prophecies on the second coming. Right? So read.
Deuteronomy 18:18.
Uh-huh.
I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth.
No, skip up to the point.
Oh, like if they were not hearken?
Yeah, no. If
you said,
yeah, if a 20.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about, trying to break down how he's not from the brother.
Oh no.
Deuteronomy 18:20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name.
This unsung home did that. He's presumed to speak a word in the name. Read.
Which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
Even that prophet shall what?
Shall die.
Shall die. And then what happened? Is he dead? Sure is. Read.
If thou shalt say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord have not spoken?
How do we know that he wasn't a prophet sent by the Most High? How do we know? Let's find out. Read.
When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken.
That is the thing. The Lord didn't speak that there was going to be a second coming in 10 years. That was not spoken in 1956. He made that up of his own. So he's a false prophet, according to the Bible. Read.
It says, but the prophet had spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him.
And you know what, which is why we'll talk about him like a dog. We're not supposed to be afraid of him. But you know what this cult tells their congregation to control them and to try to keep them away from this information, that the internet is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So they can't go on the internet to find information because you were commanded not to eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because they had MacBooks in the days of Adam. and Wi-Fi in the days of Adam.
I got a question. Does their church got a website?
Yep. They got instructional videos. Remember we watched that video about the what was that video? The City of Refuge. But that Earth is the city of refuge.
But don't you got to go on the internet to get to
Yep. That's what they say. There's good there, but then there's also evil. So you just only could go on our website. I'm done. And a Negro sat there and said, I like it. I want to join.
No, I want to pay my life to this.
Where do I pay my tithes?
Got money.
You see that? That's what you get a so-called Negro to do. It's funny. Everybody know Hakkad, he dropped that 613 album. Everybody know he put it out for free, right? He got it out for free now. It's free now. He's giving it away now, right? You know how many downloads it got once we put out for free? Damn near 1,000. Like niggas ain't have $10 to spend. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It was in between. If you went on one website, it was like 7 or 8, and then the other one it was like 10. Right? You can't get a Negro to give you $10 for a CD. But you can get a Negro to worship a Korean God and give him 10-20% of his check every week. It's crazy.
You spent $10 to buy that week set. That only lasted 5 minutes.
You feel me? You know what? And then imagine the levels we got a brother right now in Dominican Republic. He tried to bring SICARRI to Dominican Republic in Haiti, a Levite brother. You see what I'm saying? If we could add 1,000 people buy the album for $10, now we're on the way to Haiti. You see what I'm saying? Now we're on the way to the Dominican Republic. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? The World Mission Society Church of God might beat us there. You know why? Because they can, by lying to Negroes, they can get their money from. We tell brothers and sisters the truth. Not like we want or need your money. We just say it's like, damn. Not like we ask for it for free. This is you buying something. You see what I'm saying? Gave you how many tracks was on there? 8 records was on there, 8 cuts. Come on now. But you see, but in the church, they don't have these problems. Especially in a heathen church that's full of our people. They don't have these problems. You know why I don't have these problems? Because lying to our people want liars. Give me that. What was that scripture? Micah 2:11. Bible shot.
Oh man, I don't even about the mother.
The mother, the whore.
She's got a bunch of titles too.
Of course, she just has many illustrious titles. She's the supreme grand perception. Yeah. The Korean woman is God, apparently.
She's the only bride, the heavenly Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem earth. She's the comforter sent by God. I want to kill her.
Now look, if a bunch of gooks believe this, okay, cool. The fact that did they come to your house, Shamar Yashar? 2 women came to your woman, right?
I'm trying to remember.
I know the Catholics did.
I think they're the only ones that haven't got yet.
No, I think you told me that they did come, but you weren't there though.
No,
your wife was there.
Right.
But it was like a Simeonite woman though, right?
I think so.
See that? All the tribes is into this thing, into a Korean Jesus, man. They getting into it. Jersey, brothers in Jersey hit me up like it's getting big in Jersey. I thought it was just on the West Coast. You see what I'm saying? Because one of these dudes, they came to Hakkad's crib in Seattle. You see what I'm saying? I thought it was just the West Coast. This thing is spreading like wildfire. It's gonna be the new Nation of Islam for a nigga, man. Okay? That's absolutely disgusting. This is what our people are into. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Sarge, matter of fact, need somebody go into the Syria thing for a minute. No, I don't. Just pull one up. Pull an article up, but I'm gonna need one of the officers to go into it. Probably Probably Bazak. We're gonna let Bazak go into it. We gotta take care of that. So let Bazak go into it. Sarge. Matter of fact, Sarge, Bazak, you go into it. Sarge, pull that up. Ash, come over to read. But I'm probably have to grab you also. Then Bazak is probably gonna have to read.
So she's pulling that people are like bowing to her.
I'm not sure. Like, I would imagine. But I'm not sure about that. We're gonna have to really infiltrate. Listen, if we gotta go to their spot, we getting ready to go to Santee. You see what I'm saying? We putting these niggas on notice. That situation, I was so hot. I was hot, and the whole mall was watching. You see what I'm saying? That whole third floor was watching, because it was mostly our people that was around. ISRAELITE that was around there. You see what I'm saying? Everybody was just looking. You know what I mean? Didn't nobody come to them niggas' aid or nothing. You know, so that was powerful. SICARRI.
Like a lot of people bow down to like he could just be like a samurai or something like that, and they just bow down to him. Everybody's so that would be crazy if they're not bowing down to him.
Yeah, because that's how the Asians are like that. That whole bowing thing is big in their culture. Remember Donnell Rollins when he went into the Asians, but he was bowing like that. But what's crazy is this. When you start dealing with the Moabites' god, which is Chemosh, that's the primary god of Moab. Chemosh, you read about in the Bible, is a war god. Who remembers when they built that big war statue over there in China?
Oh yeah, that huge one, that huge idol.
That's Chemosh. That's the god of the Moabites. Yeah, that's the same god that they've been worshiping since before they left the Middle East. You see what I'm saying? Once you go into which most I want, because we're gonna really get on these niggas. So we're gonna start going into it through the spirit. Probably how about y'all? Shall I read that real quick?
Book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 11. If a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink,
read on.
He shall even be the prophet of this people.
That's why the churches are filled up. That's why World Mission Society Church of God is getting so many of our people, because our people want liars. Period. That's what our people desire to lead them. A liar.
Yeah, right.
All right. But go ahead.
We be rich.
We be filthy rich. Go ahead, Bazak. Go ahead, deal with that, Bazak. Bazak and Ash. Let's go outside real quick.
That's smart, you know.
Smart. You gotta be on point.
You know all about it. Yeah. This is his field, man. This is life.
Flash.
Shalom, Yasharahla.
Shalom.
Yeah, go ahead. Want to let them know some information about Syria? The Syrian thing that's popping up?
I put up 2 articles. I got one with the RT News. And I got one, I got the New York Times. I'll pull this RT News one up real quick. It's real small. Then I'll pull this one with the New York Times. This is an article from RT News. It says America's Syria strike on verge of military clash with Russia. It says the U.S. attack on an airfield in Syria has been conducted on the verge of a military clash with Russia. Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev said, adding that President Trump has been broken by the U.S. power machine in just 2.5 months. So they're pretty much it's just saying how they put a lot of power into Trump's hands, and he's definitely going to take advantage of that with him being the leader and president of the United States. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one in a New York Times. It's an article from New York Times titled "Syria Strike Puts U.S. Relationship with Russia at Risk." It says the American military strike against Syria threatened Russian-American relations on Friday as the Kremlin denounced President Trump's use of force, and the Russian military announced that it was suspending an agreement to share information about air operations over the country, devised to avoid accidental conflict.
So, I mean, that's talking about them breaking that international law, huh? That's going into that. I read it, I didn't read it, but I saw a source dealing with, the United States breaking that international law. We know that last year, Russia put out a, they basically put out their own, commandment, their, of airspace. They say if anybody get up in this airspace, we're gonna shoot you down.
Right.
And this is all about, rumors of war.
Yeah, you're right. Right, and the war games they play. Because we were actually, we were here in San Diego. You had a Russian aircraft fly over the camp, and we caught it. It's on the SICARRI 1715. You can go and check that video out. We actually seen a Russian aircraft enter American airspace. I want to say it flew over a major Air Force base out here in San Diego, then flew out to a military base out in Vegas, and then it disappeared out over Sacramento. So you got nations that are constantly doing these war games, constantly launching off missiles, test missiles, invading airspace. Like the brother Yasha saying, they have to form treaties and they have to have international laws and stuff to restrict, these types of actions.
Yeah, I want to say, when I was in the war and I was going to school, I want to say a year before that happened, they had a Russian missile bomber airplane 50 miles off the coast of California. But that just shows you how weak America is. America tries to be the big bully. They try to act like, they hot stuff, man. We got all the artillery, all the arsenal, all the weaponry. When Russia, they have the nuke called Satan. It has what, 12 warheads on it? 12 warheads on it, and it'll blow up Texas. Smooth out. All right. So, it's speak about in the scriptures. I'm about to bring it out. It's Matthew 24, and I'm gonna start at 5. It says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many." This scripture, this verse right here also goes into, the so-called, Korean Jesus. Right. Right. So he's out here deceiving many. He's, specifically in by the masses, Jake, the so-called Black and Hispanic Native video. Verse 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." So this is what we're hearing today. You had Donald Trump. I seen a little, I don't want to say it was a meme, but somebody put a picture of him tweeting, talking about how, how Obama, I guess he bombed Syria too, with his time in the office. And I guess he didn't go through, the per se, he didn't go through the right sources to get an agreement to go bomb Syria. And then turn around, the damn devil, Trump, he's doing the same thing. But see, this is what, Jake, this is what us Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, this is like a dream come true. It shows you that, we're in the latter times now. It's in the scriptures. Like the brother Bonloy said, we are the only people out here speaking about this stuff. Like I put a video up on Facebook. We the only ones out here trying to get our people back to who they are and warn our people to what's to come. If they don't get right, the Most High is going to destroy them. If you get right, just like we trying to get right, we all have a chance again, into them chariots. But right now, it's the rumors of war. Didn't they say they're saying it's a hoax dealing with the chemical missiles that I guess Syria bombed on themselves. So Syria is bombing on themselves, but America is bombing Syria to show Syria that they shouldn't be bombing on themselves. I guess that's like a little meme that's going around.
Right. Now, a quick precept too you can bring out. Someone wants to get that Matthew 12 and 26, and then read when you bring it out. Read this second paragraph first, because it's going to tell you that Trump in one of the things he was really campaigning is trying to improve relationships with Russia. But we know Russia and America; these are both two Edomite nations, right? So, you would think they would work together, but it shows that that's all the Most High designed to have them conflict and go against each other because that's part of His will. But yeah, if you get that precept and read that second paragraph, that goes together.
I'm gonna finish this out. It says, and ye shall hear This is Matthew 24:6. It says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So, you know, we happy right now. We happy to see this happen. These are the rumors and wars that's going on. This is what we want to see as Israelites, because this is the, you know, the near time of the Mashiach, Yahushua, his returning. Right? And it says, for nation shall rise up against, verse 7, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So, you know, these are things that's going to come to pass, right? You know, we're bringing up articles. These are the rumors of war. America just bombed Syria. Now you have a Russian Navy ship, a destroyer, you know, on his way, getting in the perimeter of this, you know, the U.S. bomber, right? So I'm gonna bring this out with Sergeant Smart. As for his, it says, Mr. Trump, who has made repairing strained ties with Moscow a central ambition of his presidency, even amid criticism of Russian meddling in last year's American election, found that goal at risk as both sides traded harsh words in a diplomatic confrontation reminiscent of past dark moments between the two powers. You know, this goes all the way back to, I want to say when John F. Kennedy was president, and, you know, he got hot. You know, stuff was starting getting real, but they both backed off each other, you know, because, you know, it's not that time yet. But this, you know, now I'm gonna bring the precept out because it's just gonna go right intact with that as well. It's Matthew 12:26, and it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So with Satan going up against Satan and their kingdoms going up against each other, they're only like we always love to say, the so-called white man has been all around the world destroying and killing us and destroying other people to where it's just gonna come right back around to himself.
Serpent.
The serpent.
Leviathan.
Leviathan, right? Goes around, destroys everything, come around, he's gonna eat himself up.
We're gonna have a coup.
Talks about the dragon biting.
Yeah, Leviathan. Yeah, we're calling about it. You need to have a coup too?
I'm talking 2 to 5 hours.
A lot. This is the book of Habakkuk. Oh, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Transgresseth by the wine, meaning the philosophies that he's been pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like Doc can say, like Doc said, it's like it. You know, Trump right now is in power, and he's been signing a lot of different things into office. You know,
and he's out here. You know, he's just out here basically, like the brother said, these philosophies that he's putting out. You know, we know that the so-called white man is the devil, which means deceiver. So he's just out here deceiving people. He's out here, oh, we bombed Syria, but when you go deeper into it, they didn't bomb them. Now it's considered a hoax. You got all the messianic numbers that's being popped up on, you know, policemen's, you know, helmets, or you'll see the same people, you know, in these incidents that been in the, you know, the bombing in Boston, the marathon.
Crisis actors.
Yeah, kind of. Right. It says, he is a proud man.
He's a proud man. Continue.
Neither keepeth at home.
He's not in his original place. Right now, these Edomites are all over the place, man. In everybody's land. You know, he keepeth not in his home. All right, his original place, his original habitation. Bring it up.
And if I could say this a lot, if I could say this, we know that Syria, they have their own bank. Their bank is not owned by the Rothschild. They dropped the US dollar, and they're running things by the way they run, the way they want to run things. So this is showing that, you know, Esau is not a keeper at home. He's trying to take over Syria, so that way he could go over there and, you know, and spread it, you know, spread the cancer as himself, you know, as he did, you know, in the rest of his land of the earth.
And I just want to add, there's only certain places that certain banks are not at. You know what I'm saying? the Rothschild Bank is in majority of every nation on this planet. You know what I'm saying? So continue.
It says, who enlarges his desire as hell.
Hell is what? The grave. Hell is what? Poverty. You know what I'm saying? Everything he does, it brings us down further. Everything that these Edomites do, it brings us down further. And you got to remember, just because you got to remember that Esau is attacking what? Syria, right? You know what I'm saying? Anybody attacked over here for us? Anybody did anything for us? So continue.
It says, and is as death and cannot be satisfied. And see, dealing with this verse, it's a beautiful verse that the officer Bazak brought out. You know, it says he's, you know, and cannot be satisfied. He's not satisfied for what he has now. He has to go take over Iraq. He wants to take over Iraq. He wants to take over Syria. He wants to take over North Korea. And he wants to take over Russia. And these are all the countries that's against America. These are all the countries that just want to destroy America. I've seen a video on Instagram. I follow, you know, Hebrew Israelites, you got it on Instagram, on any social media. Some brother put up a video of the Islamic State. They had a big, I'm talking about a parade, and they're all chanting, death to America. America's a cancer. America needs to be destroyed. It's the daughter of Babylon. I'm talking about the whole people in that country are going in, death to America. Because America is everybody's enemy. Like I said earlier, they think they're the big bullies. When we know Russia, they got their artillery is like here, in America's. So I'm talking about to the core of Earth. It's just the core of Earth.
I got a precept.
To the flat earthers.
This is Obadiah, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right. Everybody hates these people, man. Everybody hates America. All right. Continue.
It says, and cannot be satisfied. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Gathereth all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's why he's in all these lands. That's why you have this is Babylon. This is the melting pot. That's what they call it, the melting pot. Back when it was Babylon, what was it called? Back in Babylon, it was first Babel because of what? Because of confusion. Because he separated all the nations, or because the nations wanted to come together under Nimrod. You know what I'm saying? So this is the same thing. Everything, nothing changes. You know, think
nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And then, I mean, we could go to verse 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth the town with blood and established a city by iniquity. He's doing that to Assyria now. The so-called white man, Esau, according to the Bible, is doing that now. It's saying destruction to him that built the town with blood. So even if, say it wasn't a hoax, Trump said, how much were those missiles? Anybody know how much those missiles were? I think there was like 10 mil or something like that. I want to say 10 mil. They said he sent 59 of them. Yet this dude, this is why we call the white man the devil. He's a deceiver. He's gonna lie to you. Oh, we're gonna make America great again. Well, dude, if you wanted to make America great again, you could have spent all that money that you spent on those 59 missiles to build America up. But she ass didn't. So that's why, and you see, that's why he wants Issachar. Oh, Issachar is gonna build that wall. Listen, our brothers from the tribe of Issachar ain't gonna do a damn thing. They didn't say it repeatedly. They're not doing nothing. Right? What else you want? I got
a quote that he stated earlier. Okay. Believe Trump said, no child of God should have to endure that. No child of God should have to endure that.
That's what Trump said.
Trump said that. Trump said that.
About
Syrians, the Syrians over there, the children that you seen laid out like fish out of water. You know what I'm saying? Behind this hoax. And like you said, even if it isn't a hoax, nobody did nothing for us, man. We supposed to cry over them?
God.
They got some serious stuff.
God. Hey, like you said over the phone last night, they over here, they want to build these other countries up that they didn't destroy, but they don't want to give Flint no clean water.
Come on.
They don't want to find these missing girls that's been missing in Washington, right? What, 14 of them, 16? And then Beloy said at downtown that Pizzagate, right? Pizzagate, you know, we got Jake, what, hundreds of thousands of us are missing every year due to that Pizzagate system. So then it gets you to think, dealing with Rockefeller, finally he died.
One of them.
Listen, one down, ready to go.
One of them.
But finally he died. If you think about the Pizzagate thing, the hearts of the so-called black man, I seen a picture. I want to say it was like $65,000 for Judah or Benjamin or Levi or Issachar or Zebulon, for our hearts, for our whole body. But yeah, man, this Syrian situation
Shalom.
is it's blowing up. I mean, if y'all brothers got, you know, Israelites as your friends on social media, I'm pretty sure you see it. Well, the brothers that could be on it, you know, the charge has been put out. But yeah, I mean, it's blowing up, man. You see it's a lot of Fox News and a lot of CNN articles, which, you know, to America and, you know, to the average person, that's you know, those are the main media and the top medias that, you know, the average person is gonna believe. CNN is showing it gotta be real. Fox News is showing it gotta be real. But we know that you gotta dig deeper. I'm gonna get a precept real quick. Huh? Wow. Huh. It's not in there. It's gotta be a mark.
Anybody got any questions? Huh?
Let me get this preset here.
Thank you.
It's not in there. I was just looking at that today. Oh, this is Luke 8:17. It says, "For nothing is secret." It says, "That shall not be manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So that's why, you know, the judgment on America, I mean, it's not a secret. You know, soon this place is going to be destroyed. We know, you know, that the Most High does set up everything accordingly to him for his prophets. He said, you know, the scripture said he showed his secrets unto the prophets. So dealing, you know, a lot of brothers won't deal, like Old Testament cats, they won't deal. Oh, the internet, you know, you guys say you hate the white man, but yeah, you go on the internet. Well, this, I mean, they got all the information in the Vatican. We ain't got enough money to go to Rome and bust up in there and see what's up in there that's hidden of ours, or the, you know, the large history that's hidden in there. So we got to go to the internet and we got to search.
I want to bring something up. This is Proverbs 29:16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth.
God.
All right. But the righteous shall see their fall. You know, we have to be very diligent in this walk, especially when we want to see the fall of our enemies, man. Especially when we want to see the fall of these other nations that have had their hand in our demise, in our demise, man. You know. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 7. Baba Kashah.
Okay.
Yeah, precept. So like the thing about Jake is we're easily fooled. Like right now, like we keep discussing wine, as in like philosophy, like, you know what I mean? Like going back to even the Korean Jesus, like, you feel me? Come on. So it's like anything. Oh, the media says Trump says that they're a dictatorship, so we gotta go over there and do the things. You know what I mean?
We learn to be simple from them as well. You know what I'm saying? Continue though. Continue.
So okay, so I feel like this precept goes great with that. Okay, this is Corinthians. This is Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So one big device of Satan is that media. The media for my grandma, for my mama, for everybody. You mean? So we just gotta be real diligent and have that eye for what's going on.
God. And that's why, you know, I brought out that precept, right. You know, nothing's a secret. Right. Everything shall be manifest. Everything shall be brought abroad. There's nothing that's going to be hid. Nothing's going to be hid under the table to where you can't see. Right. It's going to come to pass. It's going to come to the forefront. Point blank, period. Right. You know, and I just want to say that it's funny. You know, I got some military cats on my Facebook. I went to high school with these cats. You know, they basically changed from hating the white man to now I'm fighting for him. Right. There's an SICARRI brother I know and a Judite brother I know. They did not like white people. I tell you that. Me, and when I was in the world, it was just like, you know, it's cool. Like, you know, white folks is cool, but I won't hang around them. But I'm not gonna say I hate them. That was me in the world. Go ahead.
Now, is there a scripture saying that we're allowed to hate them?
Well, if you go to Psalms, you could bring out Psalms. I want to say 139 or 138. It's David. It's King David speaking, and he's asking the Most High. You know, shall I not hate them that hate thee?
If you're doing that, I'll pull something up.
Yeah, Psalms. It's 139 or what? Yeah, 139, verse 21. It says, "Do I not hate them, O Lord, that hate thee?" And it says, "And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?" It says, "I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies." So, you know, dealing with people that don't say F God, don't believe in Christ, people that disrespect the Most High and His Son. Okay, you know, this is dealing with, you know, the so-called white man. I mean, there's plenty of verses. You got Romans 9:13, you got Malachi 1. It's plenty in there. Showing, you know, you got Psalm 5. If you read Psalms 5, hate the evil, love the good. There's plenty. I mean, it's so-called white man is evil, ain't he?
Yeah. So
why is it not righteous to hate him if he's evil?
Right? Look at Matthew 24 and 24. Let me cut up. You know, I want y'all to understand that in the eyes of some Americans, Trump is Christ. In the eyes of some, Jake, as well as other nations and nationalities, some, the whole is Christ. You know what I'm saying? So they're here to save them. Let me get that.
This is Matthew 24 and 24. It says, "For there shall arise false Christs."
False Christ. Ain't nobody gonna save none of these people. And at the end of the day, only Hamashiach Yahushua is going to save his people. All right, continue.
"And false prophets."
All these Sang Ho, his wife, the young ignorant Jake, who deals with thinking that that is Christ. He feels like he's a prophet. Lost.
TD Jakes.
Yeah,
the Edomite Joel Osteen.
You know what I'm saying? Joel Osteen. You know what I'm saying? The Prince dude who's in the Philippines or something. Got that funny little accent. All right, continue.
It says, "And shall show great signs and wonders."
They got a lot of people in their congregation, man. I don't want you to sleep. The sign that they're showing is they're affecting the people that's around them. They're getting them in multitudes, man. You know that, like, never mind. Continue.
And if I could say this, Trump. They got a video of Trump back in the 90s saying if he was to run for president, he'll join the Republican Party.
Right.
Because anything he'll say, they gonna eat it. They gonna eat it up. And look what the hell happened. They ate it up.
You know
them Simpsons. Right. But they had that prophecy in 2000, 2002, something like that. And then now they got one of him dead.
I swear they got.
I hope that comes.
I swear they got Jake writing for Simpsons, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right. But yeah, it says, and shall show great signs and wonders, you know, making America great again.
Con.
And also, you know, like I said, dealing with these military cats, they so happy to see the Arab man getting blown up. That's a great sign, a great wonder for them.
By their savior, Trump.
Yeah, God.
By their savior, America. By their savior, the philosophy of democracy, which you can vote in a man. You can vote in a man, and he's going to change the world for you. You ain't got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You just got to love them. You just got to do what they ask. You got to kiss what they ask. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what they ask.
It says, in so much that if it were possible.
If it were possible. If it were possible. You understand? We know English. You know, if it were possible, I would have been able to get there on time. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no white man book, man. If it were possible, continue.
It says, they shall deceive the very elect.
They shall deceive the very elect. We're not going to sit here and be like, you know, the thing in Syria happened. People were hurt. Then you have people investigating this stuff. We're going to investigate it as well. We're going to look into it as well. Why? Because, you know, 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things, you know, hold fast that which is good. You know, the point of it is so that we don't be deceived with anything. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why the powerful brother Quran, he brought that out. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Let Satan should have an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So, you know, being diligent in this thing, and, you know, not believing the white man because he's the devil, he's the deceiver. We're going to go in and we're going to use whatever source, whatever books we could go in and find out the truth. You know?
This, you
know, go ahead.
All right. This is Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 21. For 3 things the earth is disquieted. For 3 things the earth is disquieted. And for 4 which it cannot bear. The earth can't take it. The earth don't like it. The earth can't stand it. It cannot bear. Verse 22. For a servant, when he reigneth, Esau is a servant, man. It said it back in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? The older shall serve the younger. We weren't the first one to come out. Esau is a servant, and he is ruling right now. The earth cannot bear that. The earth's supposed to be able to rest for a year. A whole year. 6 years you till the land, and a year you let it rest.
God, yet so-called white man, he's just bombing everything up.
Deep into the ground. Deep into the ocean. All right? And a fool, when he is filled with meat, he's devouring us. You know what I'm saying? You know.
God, and I'm going to bring this precept out. This is Jeremiah 50 and 29. It says, call together the archers against Babylon, aka America. It says, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done unto her. For she has been proud against the Most High, against the Holy One of Israel. So that's what we do when we go out into these highways and byways. We go out and we, like in the book of Ezekiel says, you know, speak unto the wind, let that spirit guide where, you know, where it's going to guide. And, you know, and we're calling all these nations up against America because it needs to be destroyed for what they have done to us. And it also says, it says, call together the archers against Babylon, you know, and it says, recompense her according to her work. What has the white man done throughout the earth? Enslaved everybody and everything, from the human down to the insect, blowing everything up, then build it back up. You know, and it says, woe to them that build the city with blood. So the white man has to go. I mean, I just find it beautiful that even though this is a hoax, this is going on, it's happening. That's right. It's bringing truth to the forefront. All the arguments that you guys have gotten into it with your family members, letting them know the prophecies that this is going to happen. It's going to happen. I remember I told my pops, America is gonna bomb Syria soon. Period. Whether you like it or not. World War III is gonna happen. You know, oh, you're fucking stupid. You want to die. Listen, Christ told me, if I keep the commandments, I shall not see death. So as long as we stay diligent in this thing, keep the Most High's commandment, we won't see death. But we know that this, like I read earlier in Matthew 24:7, we know these are rumors of war. We know martial law has to come to pass. We know a new world order. We know some of us in here, somebody in here dealing with this cancer is gonna get caught up by martial law. They're gonna put us in them FEMA camps. They're gonna beat our ass. They're gonna torture us. They're gonna try to force the chip on us. And one of his brothers in here is gonna get beheaded for Yahushua Mashiach's name's sake. But that's dying a noble death. We're dying for something.
That's right.
We're dying to get put. You know, we're dying. It says, let me get that. Where's that at? I already talked about the dead in Christ. Shall I write it first? Is that Peter? I know it's Peter.
Hey, Josh, while you getting that, I heard seeing if this was a precept to what the Zach brought out for Proverbs 21. I mean Proverbs 30 and 21. Precept to that.
First Thessalonians
precept is Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. If that goes in precept to it.
God, we see that we at the bottom, and and that's why I read it, in that Jeremiah 50 and 29. It says, "For she has been proud against the Most High, against the Holy One of Israel." So since the servant, which is the so-called white man, has been on top, we've been on, walking on the ground next to these horses, that they came up against us. And it's a fact, because it said in the same book, it says Jacob is the former of all things.
Right.
Yet we see the bases of men on these horses. We see the bases of men running the world right now. And we see the kings of the earth walking the ground. The princes of the earth walking the ground. YASHARAHLA, the prince of the power.
Come.
Right? Like I was going into, you said that was 1 Thessalonians?
Come, 4 and 16.
4 and 16. So like I was saying, it's rumors of war right now. It's something to be, a little bit joyful of. Like I said, this shows we're in the latter times. But like I said, martial law got to come to pass. No world order. Brothers getting beheaded, brothers getting tortured, crucified, whatever death you shall go. Because we know the apostles, man, they went through crucial death. Head is chopped. John the Baptist got his head chopped off. I was reading up on the prophet Isaiah. He got sawed in half. I want to say, was it Peter? I want to say it's Peter that got boiled in hot oil.
No, that was Philip.
Philip.
Yeah, he went to Egypt.
He got boiled in oil. Then who's the one that got I want to say it's Bartholomew. He got skinned. Then he got beheaded. So we know that us being prophets, we gonna have, the scriptures say we're gonna get beheaded. But I'm gonna bring this out. It says, it's a lot. I'm sick. It's 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. It says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God." And it says, "And the dead in Christ shall rise first." So we know in the book of John 8 and 51, it says, "Very, very, I say unto you, those that keep my commandments shall not see death." We keep these commandments to the best of our ability, with truth and sincerity, without ceasing. Lord willing, we be, if either of us brothers get, head chopped off or however you be it, we'll be the ones, to rise up in Christ. In Christ's name. But yeah, go ahead.
This is 2 Maccabees, chapter 7. The strong prospect in the back. I like this one, man. All right. We can start at verse, I'm going to go to verse 18. 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 18. After him also they brought the sixth, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore, marvelous things are done unto us. Verse 19. But think not, thou that takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished. So everybody that has come against us, everybody living wickedly on this earth, that goes for all these nations, especially 2/3 of YASHARAHLA, Israel, they will be punished, man. They'll be punished. They will taste that death. All right. But this is what happens for those who stay diligent in this truth, and even unto death. Let's go up a little bit, verse 10. 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 10. After him was the third made a mocking stock, and when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right son, holding forth his hands manfully, like, take it, I give you this. You know what I'm saying? Christ laid down his life for you. He gave his life. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take his life, he gave it. All right, verse 11. And said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despise them. I'll keep these laws and give up these hands. You know what I'm saying? And from him I hope to receive them again. Now, how you supposed to receive your hands? Do your limbs grow back? Do your limbs grow back?
Not dead, boy.
All right. So you come back. You come back. You know, and just like in Daniel, you know, we're in captivity, but it doesn't mean that you can't be raised up. You do what's right, and you do it the right way, and you follow the Most High with the faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. You'll be raised up, man. You don't have to be in poverty. That's a lie. You don't have to be in poverty. The Most High gives you your riches or your poverty. You know what I'm saying? The man don't give you that. Everything that happens on this earth is because of you. You get in what you reap what you sow. So if you want what you deserve, what's rightfully yours, you're gonna have to seek it with, like the brother said, sincerity, in truth. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Okay, so what was that? 2 Maccabees 7, 18 through 19. No, what did you just bring out?
This was 10 and 11 just now.
10, 11. So basically, like, those that, what I take from those that have hope, you know what I mean? Hope that's not seen, hope that you can't, be tricked by the devil's devices, you know what I mean? Those are going to be that stay into the end.
Those are going to stay to the end, man.
Okay, so I got a precept. So Romans 8:24.
Go ahead. Be loud, be loud.
For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what man see, why doth he yet hope for?
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Basically, like I was saying, like the hope that's not seen, that's real hope. The hope that's not seen, that's real hope. That's real faith. That's real, you know what I mean? Good news, something to look forward to. So in these end times, we gotta really stay diligent, you know what I mean, and have that unseen hope.
And people are focused more on a timetable.
Right.
A timetable. A day is 1,000 years, but you're worried about time. Keep your mind right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna point this out. We're gonna go to the first verse of 7. just to show you. It says, this is 2 Maccabees 7:1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken, and against the law, and compelled by the king against the law, the king that they was under, against the law. What law? The law that was given to their forefathers. You know what I'm saying? To taste swine's flesh. You understand? You think we was eating chitlins for nothing? You think we wanted these things? Well, we were forced to do these things. And you're talking about years and years and years. That's why you can ask somebody, how long was this captivity to this captivity? The Greek captivity in the Maccabean period, all the way to and then you get the Roman captivity, right? So the question is, how long is that period in between? You know, because you're talking about us being in America for 400 something years, losing the thought of this and what we used to do and where we came from beforehand, from learning their customs, perfecting the English language better than they can. All right. You know, damn, that smell.
Yeah, that's bull. Oh, yeah, go ahead. That's skunk.
That's that skunk.
They out there chilling in it, but
I just want to finish that up. Okay. And we're tormented and with scourges and whips. So they would beat just so that they can have you eat swine's flesh. And we said, nah, we ain't gonna do that. You know, and the first person that spoke got his tongue cut out and then his outer limbs cut off. When we were hung on them trees, they cut off our penis. They cut off a lot of things. Same thing, same people. Ain't nothing changed. You might think there's something new. What the scriptures say? You might think there's something new, but it ain't nothing new. All right, go ahead, Doc.
So yeah, you know, that's why, you know, brothers, guys, like us, you know, stay firm and stay hot in this thing. Don't be warm. Don't go cold. Listen, the most I'll stop dealing with you. So this is Isaiah 43, 1 to 2. It says, "But now thus saith the Most High that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, I have redeemed thee, I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine." So we know, brothers in here, we know that the Most High only deals with the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians, being, you know, the nation of Israel, okay, and our forefather being Jacob. It says, "When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, thou shalt not overflow thee." So what is that talking about? What's that talking about? It says, "When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers it says they shall not overflow thee."
Oh, that's the rivers. Rivers is the white man.
Where'd you learn that from? I'm gonna finish it out so you can get an idea. It says, "When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burnt, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee." So that's talking about the first death, and the fires being the missiles.
God.
Right.
So the Most High, he's gonna be with those that keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
And that verse right there goes into Zechariah 13, dealing with the 2/3 and dealing with the elect. It's gonna be tried and refined through the fire. Right. So yeah, you know, it's all in popping, you know, dealing with America and Syria. I want to see what Russia does. I think I'm gonna be up till tomorrow.
Didn't already send their naval ships?
They sent one destroyer over there. They sent one. But my question is, I didn't go full into it. Was there more American Navy battleships out there that sent off 59? There was 2, and they sent off 59 missiles from that 2 boats. From those 2 boats.
Since there's missiles in the bottom.
Yeah. So they must have been. And they're gonna send one Russian destroyer.
They said they must have been sitting there waiting to go do the work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You over there waiting And it's not like they're waiting because they're just chilling. They were put there waiting for something to happen so that they can do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, all you got to do is just sit there for a little while. You know, man, everything's orchestrated, man.
Did you guys see the talk with the UN?
Oh, the UN had a talk?
Yeah, they did like emergency meeting.
Yeah.
And
talking about the international law, right?
Yeah. They went off.
White folk don't have no international law, man.
Man, they went off. Like Russia was hellish's.
No
United States was
international.
like, yo, man, we're not dealing with this no more. Either you guys should get like stupefied by Syria, or y'all just working with it.
They are.
And that's what they were saying, because they were saying Russia, somebody from Russia was in the same little vicinity as the Syrian when the thing happened, when they popped off, supposedly. You know, so that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening.
Shit. These like rumors of war. This been going on. Their general, the United States general, when he gave his his battle speech, he's basically saying anybody that's gonna come up against us, they're getting dealt with off tops. And in 2004, there was a general that said we're gonna take over Syria, then we're gonna take over Egypt, then we're gonna take over. I want to say Ethiopia, but then I don't. And the last one, they was like, then we're gonna take over Iran. And it's like, who's next after that? But that's the problem.
Hey, and that's the sick part, because you got to understand once they go into your land, then what's the move? We have to make people believe, that we're there to help them. Right. Now that I'm in your land, I have to tell you, well, this would probably be a better way of going about your life. Democracy. All right. You can vote for your leader. Let's say you got 10 people around and you don't know who these 10 people are. You say, now, 6 people voted for this person and 4 people voted for this person. Do you really know who voted for who?
You don't know. Everything is done electronically.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You know?
And and see, that's just what I brought out with the so-called white man trying to take all these countries over. That shows how proud he is. This is Jeremiah 50:32. It says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. That's also dealing with the nukes too, man. Coming 50, Jeremiah 50:32. Right? And it says, when you go to 33, it just clarifies what country is talking about. Thus said the Most High of Hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Where's the house of Israel and the house of Judah? Oppressed that here in the Americas. Who's the most proud? The so-called white man. He's out here. He's pushing that agenda. He's pushing that. Listen, I'm the big dog. I'm Debo, and all y'all Craig without the break. But we know that the Most High, we are his battle axe and his weapons of war. So we're gonna be that brick that Craig threw at Debo, and then be Craig's fist bombing on Debo. But we ain't gonna pass out at the end. Like the strong officer up in Seattle, he brought out that lesson, that the powers that we was gonna have, the stamina, all the things, we're gonna have lungs when we get that new body. To where we just gonna start slashing and dashing until we command it to stop. Under our King, Yahushua.
And I don't want to go too deep in. I don't want to go too much into prophecy, but this is Ezekiel chapter 39, and starting from the top. You want to read it, man?
I'll read it for you.
All right, go ahead.
39:1. It says, "You want this one? Y'all about it? No, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him ready. Just gotta get it quick. Oh, y'all gotta go. He's gonna go in.
How much more you got?
He's about to go in Ezekiel 39. He's gonna go in.
They got his face.
I mean, you can't. The whole chapter?
No.
Okay. You guys touch on Syria?
Yeah, we touched on Syria.
Syria.
Syria. It's Syria.
Yeah.
Touched on
Can you guys say why it's going on?
rumors of war.
You know that they have their own currency, you know.
Yeah, we talked about Rothschild. They don't own it. U.S. dollar drop.
I don't even. Hey man, see, listen. Make my job. I had to do it.
Hey, that's see what happens when you learn under the chief priest.
They already did my lesson.
I'll read this. This is the last hit. This is Ezekiel 39 from the top. It says, "Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog."
Prophesy against Gog. Where's Gog? That's actually right now the land of Moscow, the land of Russia.
God.
All right, go ahead.
It says, "And say, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I am against thee.
I am against you, Russia." Continue.
O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
Now, what is Meshech? Meshech is actually the name of Moscow. He's prophesying towards Russia and Moscow, the capital of Russia. All right, continue.
Verse 2. "And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee."
I will turn thee back. Back in Russia, Russia used to be USSR. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to turn them back to that. That is when there was that Cold War. They was really trying to get at US.
Joseph Stalin.
What
did he do to those protesters that was out there protesting against him? He sent his military out there and they
hey,
blew them all away.
It's your land. You can do what you want, you know. But right now we're on the path of everybody want to talk about peace, as well as I'm gonna do what I want to do. So Russia right now has a little bit of stuff going on to where the Most High is saying, "Yo, eventually I'm going to turn you all back to that old you, that beast." All right.
And Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It says,
hold on.
It says, I would turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel.
All right. Where the mountains of Israel? All right. Where the what's it called? Where the mountains of Israel?
Yeah, this is also, dealing with future problems, dealing with World War after World War III.
Come
up against us.
When we're in
power.
When we're in that area, you know what I'm saying? When we're taking off of this land. All right, continue.
Keep going. It says, I will smite. It says, I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand.
All right, when those missiles come into the sky, they're gonna when they come against us, their missiles ain't gonna do nothing, But right now, when the Most High sends them and put them hooks in their jaws and turn them back to their old selves, that's when this place is going to be destroyed. All right, through intercontinental ballistic missiles, or what they would call Satan.
What should we call Satan? Hey, 12 warheads.
Did you talk about how they got the Russian ship heading down over there right now?
Yep.
Yeah. You guys good.
And then we was talking.
Them boys good.
No, but let's continue.
After you guys get done, I'll come open it up for a quick Q&A, and then we can close out.
I mean, we We good. Through the spirit. How about shimmy outside?
Anybody got any questions in the chat? Anybody got any questions? Bring them out now. All right, we're gonna do a quick Q&A. All right.
Respect the gangster.
Did you guys go into the rumors of war? They're deceiving. Deceiver, the Satan.
Hey,
He's just deceiving.
Brother, beautiful.
Deceiving the whole world, Sage.
I trained him.
If it were possible.
Hey, somebody give me some water, bubble shot.
Nobody got no questions? Nobody got no questions?
Quick questions,
Quick questions, man.
What time is it?
8:45.
All right, we'll go till 9 o'clock. We're going till 9 p.m. Eastern, Pacific time. 9 Pacific time. I hope you guys had a good breakdown by the officers. They did a powerful job. I was going to go into the water. I was going to go into a lot of things that they went into, powerful information. That's how you know brothers is on one accord in one spirit. When you come to class and y'all both have the same lesson, that is beautiful and through the spirit.
Break down Psalm 91.
Let me see the scripture. Let me see somebody script. Oh no, I don't deal with that Bible. Give me a plain one. I can't even read that one.
Yes, you can. It's not hard.
Somebody said you think we're gonna be having a second Passover once we get delivered out of modern Babylon.
Psalm 91.
Huh? A second Passover, a second commemoration. Well, yeah, absolutely. Let me get that real quick. Look at that memorial on your word search.
You talking about for Babylon?
Yeah.
What, 18?
I'm not sure. Just type in memorial.
Lazarus.
Who wanted me to go into this?
I heard it from somebody else. Listen, man, I just want clarification. That's all, Cat.
No, I said you wanna
What have you heard? What have you heard about this?
What do you want to know? I heard in a sense it's talking about
Spiritual power?
no.
What
being the and just like not fearing about the news.
All right.
And the Most High being our shield.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. You found that?
No.
Memorial?
Yes, there's nothing.
It don't have to be in
I
Revelation.
understand. I'm saying
Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah or Jeremiah. Anyway, just to roughly paraphrase the scripture, somebody asking about a second Passover. Oh yeah, well, you know what? Jeremiah 16. Start at verse 14. This is the question to whoever asked about is there going to be a second Passover that we keep? You're absolutely correct. It may not be ceremonial, but it's going to be definitely memorial. All right. So start at verse,
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right. So there's going to come a time where in the kingdom, we're going to keep all the laws and all the feast days, but that's just going to be like a regular, like it's a big deal right now, Passover, but in the kingdom, that's just going to be like a regular tradition, just like a Sabbath. The Passover will be treated as a Sabbath in the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because read it.
Verse 15, but Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
Right. So it's going to be a bigger deal of the deliverance from the land of the north, which is America. So we know this is future prophecy. We know this cannot be talking about ancient Babylon, because the white Jews will try to say this applies to them when they were took from planes from Russia and from Germany to Israel. So they say Russia and Germany is the land of the north, and they were took from there to Israel. They'll say that's a fulfillment of this prophecy. But here we are today. We're still making movies about the Exodus. We're still making movies about Moses. We all still, including them fake white Jews, take the Passover seriously and as a very integral part of our faith. So that cannot be talking about the 1948 deliverance from Israel back to the Americas. The land of the north that this is dealing with is America, all right? This is dealing with the Americas because this is the modern day Babylon, and that's what Jeremiah wrote about. Jeremiah and Isaiah, as well as Ezekiel, they prophesied about two Babylons, and it's encrypted and encoded, and you have it within the same chapter. You have them prophesying about ancient Babylon and what would happen to it, and then they'll sneak in a couple of verses about what would happen to modern day Babylon, calling it the daughter of Babylon. All right. So absolutely. The old Exodus coming out of Egypt, splitting the Red Sea, we're going to be like treating that as a normal 7-day Sabbath. All right. And we're going to be meditating and teaching our kids about the deliverance from the land of the north. All right. Continue.
It says, and from all the lands whither he hath driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Keep going.
Verse 16, behold, I will send for many fishers.
Right now we're fishing. Right now we're fishing. In order to get delivered from the land of the north, your ass got to fish. You got to fish. What does that mean? In order for this glorious second Exodus, this first resurrection, what type of sick pup? You're sick too? This dude got everybody sick. Damn, they got everybody sick. All started with a warrior. But in order for this second Exodus to happen and us being delivered from the land of the north, this glorious deliverance, we have to fish, is what the Bible is saying. We have to do this work. We have to reach out to our people. We have to build the kingdom. We have to do as many lessons as we can. We have to do as many classes as we can. We got to hit these highways. We got to tell as many people as we can. We got to pass out flyers. All right. That's the only way that we're going to make this glorious deliverance happen from the land of the north, which is the Americas. Go ahead.
It says, behold, I send for many fishers, said Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters.
Right. So after we become fishers, the Most High is going to put the spirit on us to become hunters and give the elect spiritual powers. Lord willing, we be them men, because we don't know until everything goes down. We won't know until martial law happens. You know how you'll know you're of the elect? Give me Isaiah 59:19.
Which also goes into, a brother asked a question. He said, do we stay or do we leave when Babylon is destroyed? Well, you're not going to have a choice. Either you're going to be delivered from the destruction or you're not.
Right.
All right.
The Bible says that Babylon is going to be an utter desolation from one end to another. So if you're not delivered, there is no leaving. You are going to die here. All right. There is no leaving. And we are not to flee Babylon. The prophets will be found here. All right. The Bible says the prophets will be found in Babylon and delivered from Babylon. Before that, let me just get this real quick. You got what I called for?
51:19.
59:19. Let me read this real quick. Revelation 11 and 11, dealing with Babylon. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. A great fear fell upon them which saw them. So this is after the 350 years of us being spiritually dead. We stood on our feet, and we woke back up from our sleep. Verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So the great prophets that are doing all these mighty works that the Bible said will be found here in Babylon and saved out of Babylon, period, point blank. All right, so you don't have to flee. Okay, now you can flee, and if you're of the elect, you can flee, and you know you might not. It doesn't necessarily mean you won't make it, but the real men of the Lord is going to have that solid faith and stay here and get persecuted, and even to the point of beheading. Because if you get beheaded and become a martyr, then you get raised up first. All right, what's up, Art?
Something about when he talks about either saving his life or lose it if you try to flee.
Well, I mean, if you're of the elect, there's going to be members of the elect that are not in America. So if you flee and you're of the elect, then you'll still be delivered. But the point is it just shows you have to examine yourself on why you would want to leave Babylon. We want to be right here. We want to be in the necks of our enemies, as the Bible prophesies we would be, you know.
The scriptures speak about blessed is he that lives to see the fall of his enemies. So why would you want to flee? Right.
Like the brother said, blessed are those that live to see the fall of their enemy. We want to see this market crash. We wanted to see this society collapse. We want to see all hell and austerity break loose. The Bible says we're going to make it by fear and trembling. Why? So we can appreciate the kingdom. The Most High is going to make us go through some tough times, y'all, so that we can appreciate this glorious kingdom. All right? Scripture said we're going to by the hair on your chin, like in the blink, like this, like you was almost about to get put to death and your ass gets saved. That's what the scriptures say. But let me read this real quick. Revelation 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their right hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. So even if you die in this truth here in Babylon, you're going to get raised up first before the members of the elect that are living, because you're a martyr, and you can do nothing more honorable than die for the Christ and the Father, period, and your brother.
I was about to say,
all right. So let's go from there to how are you going to know if you're a member of the elect? You're going to know when it goes down. You're going to feel something, and you're going to get a download. You're going to get a download, a charge. All right, go ahead.
Got a precept real quick too.
Yep.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. So, you know, if you give all diligence, you know, and present yourself without spot and blameless to the Most High, to flee.
Yeah.
Okay. Fleeing is showing doubt. You know, if we lived in a righteous society with a righteous system, and you were called to trial on something, you know what Esau tells you. If you didn't do anything wrong, then we have nothing to worry about. You know, so unless you have that doubt within your own spirit to know that you're not right, then you'll probably try to flee to destruction. But the Most High said you'll never fall if you are, you know, diligent and presented without spot and blameless. You said you wanted what?
Isaiah 59:19.
Isaiah chapter 59. That's not it. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. And it reads, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west.
From where? From
the west.
Why are we going to fear the name of the Lord from the west? Because we're all the way over here at the end of the earth. The western hemisphere. Well, really, it's not there's not a western hemisphere. Really, it's just the north and southern hemisphere. But just to identify, we say western hemisphere, the western part of the world. the furthest west you can get. All right, that's where we're at. That's why we're fearing the Lord from the west. Go ahead.
It says, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood.
When the enemy shall come in like a flood. What's this flood dealing with? Who knows? What's the flood? Huh? Wrong. Zanak. I'm calling wrong Zanak. Zanak usually be right. A warrior. What's a flood? What's it comes out of toilet. That's right. He been clogging up toilets. The flood is dealing with foreign troops. That's what the flood is. The flood is dealing with these armies, martial law troops, which the government, America's going to have to get foreign troops to come and to implement martial law over here, because they tried to do it once with the American army, and the American soldiers wouldn't sign off on killing other fellow Americans. So that's why they're going to have to use foreign troops. That's why you see UN vehicles on big trucks being hauled to certain different locations and FEMA camps or whatever, because the foreign troops are going to be the ones to come in like a flood. All right. Continue.
That was
somebody give me the Apocrypha real quick.
Oh, it says
2 Ezra 16 and 68.
When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him.
You see that? So once these martial law and foreign troops come in like a flood, the scriptures say, read that louder for me, the last part.
It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against them.
Shall lift up a standard against him, meaning what? The members of the elect at that time, when they're coming to be killed, when they're sought after to be killed, then they're going to get that download and that charge to have spiritual powers to take this man down and to have their hands in a part of the destruction of Babylon. All right, that's when the Isaiah 41s are going to come to pass. The Micah 5s are going to come to pass. The one shall chase 1,000. All right, this man got tanks and Gatling guns and 50 caliber rounds and all type of new technology, man, that will destroy Jake. Jake are going to need that spiritual download. Bayan.
Would this be a precept to Isaiah 59:11? Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye, and this is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Strong, Bayan. Absolutely. That's a great precept. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So that great wrath is that great flood, which is going to be all the powers that they have coming against the people and citizens of America, mainly those that keep the commandments, as the Bible says. We are the ones on the red list. All right, bring that out, brother.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 68.
For
behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you.
The burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. That's dealing with this great wrath. That's dealing with this flood. This is dealing with the martial law troops. Go ahead.
And they shall take away certain of you.
They shall take away certain of you. Going back to Revelation 2 and 10. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. All right. The same thing that John the Revelator seen is the same thing that Ezra seen, is the same thing that Daniel seen. People don't know that. Go ahead.
And feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
So when they take you, hold on, I need more on that. When they take you and you're idle, meaning in a still place, then they're going to feed you things offered unto idols. It's not talking about meats. All right. It's talking about the RFID chip. Okay. They're going to try to feed you with that and say it's either this or that. And they're going to want you to consent. How do we know they're going to want you to consent to the mark of the beast? It's because the scriptures in Revelation say receive. They didn't receive it. Not about it being forced on them. They didn't receive it. This devil wants to be like God. God's not going to force you to serve him. He said, choose this day who you shall serve. All right? So go ahead.
Verse 69. And they that consent unto them.
And they that what?
Consent.
Consent. So you're going to have to consent to this chip. He wants you to just give away your soul to him, to sell your soul to him. He don't want to force it on you. All right? Read.
Shall be had in derision.
Shall be had in derision. So if you take the chip, you're going to be had in derision. Go ahead.
And in reproach.
Uh-huh.
And trodden underfoot.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Verse 70. For there shall be in every place.
For there shall be in every place. Go ahead.
And in the next cities.
Uh-huh.
A great insurrection.
A great insurrection. That's the great wrath in Revelation 12 and 12. That's the great flood in Isaiah 59 and 19. That's the great multitude with a great wrath. This is the great insurrection. Give me Jeremiah 30 and 7. This is when you're going to know if you're of the elect. When that great wrath, when that great multitude, when that great insurrection happens against the men of the Lord, against the Israelites, just Jake, period. Not even just us, but those that keep the commandments more so, but as well every Israelite. You ever heard of the Rex 84 plan? Look it up. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 30 and 7.
Uh-huh.
Alas, for that day is great.
That day is great. Go ahead.
So that none is like it.
So that none is like it. This is what it is. This is what we're reading about. Go ahead.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
This is the time of Jacob's trouble. So when the enemy comes in like a flood, that's the time of Jacob's trouble. The devil having great wrath, coming down with great wrath because he has short time, that's the time of Jacob's trouble. The great insurrection that Second Ezra is talking about, that's the time of Jacob's trouble. You niggas ain't ready, man. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But the elect is going to be saved out of it. So you better hope and pray like hell you're one of the elect. And you better hope all y'all that be coming against the men of the Lord and talking shit and scoffing and calling us names, you better hope we're not part of the elect, that you're going to have to deal with that. So let me go ahead, finish that, Salaki.
Let me start back up top of 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Upon who?
Those that fear the Lord.
Those that fear the Lord. Proven to you, they're gearing all this up. And they're gearing up all these troops in FEMA camps and concentration camps and gas chambers and guillotines and firing squads and bringing all this back because they seen us wake up in 1969 and realize that we are the Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. And we are the ones that fear the Lord and keep the commandments. Go ahead. No, that's it on that. The water.
The precepts, what is it? Jeremiah
what's the next
30 and 7. Precepts, Jeremiah 30 and 7 is Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that despise the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you?
That's right.
The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light.
Right. So this day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It's going to be a bittersweet deal for the elect. It's going to be bittersweet because you're going to think that you was about to die and be saved out of it, or your family is going to be suffering some real deal trials and tribulations, and they're going to be saved out of it. So it's going to be a bittersweet deal. It's not going to be like how the Christians paint it out to be. They're just holding just this white wife, and then these white kids just looking in the sky, just waiting for Christ to come and save them. That's the total opposite. All right. So with that, we're gonna say Cap don't want to take any more questions. He's ready to get into some Friday night festivities. So I am too, though. You know, I'm a full-time single father. You know what I'm saying? I say that all the time. It's a great thing, though, to be that. And reach out. If you haven't got that 613 album, go get it. It's for free. And support the Guess Who album as well. All right, and we're going to say, Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Till next time, shalom.